Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. So the last update about Unfortunate Love was how Balwinder threatens to expose Malishka, asking Malishka to give him money, and then Malishka sent money to Balwinder through Sonal. Then Ayush is also threatening Malishka to expose her. Then Rishi was fighting with Balwinder in the market for Lakshmi. So let's continue from there. Sonal is in the room and she thinks that where is Malishka? She thinks if Devika heard everything they said, and surely Malishka will be fighting with her. She thinks if Malishka get trapped and she thinks to go and check. She is going, but she collide with Malishka, who has just come back from finding out if Devika heard their conversation. Sonal brings Malishka inside the room and she locked the door. Malishka tells Sonal that Devika had gone to Grandma and says that we are planning something, but she doesn't know what we are planning. She says Grandma scolded Devika and asked her not to think anything. Sonal says we will be in fear of being caught always, and she asks Malishka to get married to Rishi at the earliest. Malishka asks Sonal of what to do. She asks if she should make Rishi sit on the wedding altar forcefully with her. Sonal says if anyone comes to know that Rishi did not get intimate with you, then you will lose Rishi, and I don't know what will happen after that. Malishka asks Sonal to say that Rishi will not remember even Lakshmi's name, and she should be positive. Rishi and Balwinder are fighting in the market. Lakshmi sees Balwinder holding a knife and she recalls Malishka's suicide attempt. She recalls Balwinder threatening her that he will take revenge from Neha, Shalu and Bani, and he will never let them get married if Lakshmi doesn't agree to marry him. Balwinder says to Lakshmi that everyone will scold you for their downfall, and he then says he will try to kill Rishi many times and one time he will be successful, and he asks Lakshmi to take a decision, and the flashback ends and Rishi runs towards Balwinder while Lakshmi panics that Balwinder might kill Rishi. Rano comes home. Bani collides with Rano and the money she got from Balwinder falls down from Rano's hand. Bani asks Rano that where did she get so much money from, and Rano looks on. Karishma asks Neelam not to worry because that inauspicious girl has gone away from Rishi's life. Neelam says Rishi will marry Malishka, but I am still upset that Rishi has done this with Malishka. Neelam asks Karishma if Kiran and their friendship will be like before again after what Rishi did. Karishma says everything will be fine with time. Neelam says I don't know what happened to my son. Karishma says I don't know what Lakshmi did with Rishi, that she is everything for Rishi. Neelam says I don't know what happened to Rishi because he wouldn't have done what he did to Malishka. Karishma says Lakshmi has blindfolded Rishi and says Rishi and Lakshmi should never unite, never and ever. At the market, Lakshmi runs and comes between Rishi and Balwinder before Balwinder eats Rishi with a knife. Balwinder's knife injures Lakshmi's back and Rishi is shocked. Rishi says sorry to Lakshmi and says I will take you to the hospital. Balwinder is about to attack Rishi again, but Lakshmi pushes Balwinder and she asks Rishi to leave Balwinder and she asks him not to worry for her. Lakshmi asks Rishi that what is his relationship with her now. She says you show everyone as if you are worried for me. Rishi says if you get sad or pain, then even I feel the same. Lakshmi asks how are you feeling my pain? When I got the pain due to your betrayal, and Rishi is shocked. Lakshmi says to Rishi that I am inauspicious and I do bad with everyone, and she asks him to stop worrying for her. She says Rishi should look at how she must be feeling to have exposed her husband's wrongdoings to everyone. Balwinder hears them and he tries to know what the matter is and why Rishi and Lakshmi got separated. Rishi asks Lakshmi to come with him to the hospital. Balwinder tries to stop Rishi and Rishi asks Balwinder to leave, else he will not spare him. Lakshmi says to Rishi that you have no right to talk to Balwinder like this because he is my husband-to-be and I am going to marry him soon, and Rishi is shocked. Rishi drops the knife shockingly and he asks if Lakshmi has gone mad to marry this street guy. He asks that did you forget that Balwinder has done bad with you? Lakshmi says what have you done with me? And she asks him to go and worry for Malishka and says Malishka would also soon be your wife and she needs you. Rishi says to Lakshmi that I will not let you marry this cheap man. Lakshmi asks with what right will you stop me? She asks if there is anything left between them. Rishi says we still have friendship relationship. We are always together. You care for me and I care for you and we share each other's pain. Lakshmi says she doesn't want to share pain with him anymore and she asks him to go. Balwinder asks Rishi to go because Lakshmi doesn't love him anymore and Rishi eats Balwinder. Balwinder asks Rishi to stay in his limit. Lakshmi shouted at Balwinder to let them talk and she tells Rishi that everything is over between them. Now she has become a stranger for him and if she was in his life, then she is now dead. Rishi says, I'm feeling as if I am talking to a stranger, and he is devastated. Balwinder owed Lakshmi's hand and tells Rishi that he will keep Lakshmi happy and he will get her whatever she wants. Rishi requests Lakshmi not to marry this cheap guy. Balwinder asks the people around to leave and he owed Lakshmi. Rishi says to Lakshmi that if you don't agree with me, then I will kill Balwinder, and he continued to beat Balwinder. Lakshmi asks Rishi to leave Balwinder and she takes him to his side. She says, don't increase hatred in my heart for you. There is nothing between us, so don't grow hatred in my heart for you. She asks Rishi to go and marry Malishka and says Lakshmi is not in your life anymore, and she cries. Rishi is shocked and he goes. Rishi is driving the car and he recalls what Lakshmi told him. Balwinder makes Lakshmi get up and says he will take care of her, but Lakshmi leaves from there. Rishi stops the car and gets down for some time. He thinks of Lakshmi and his moment together and he sits in the car again. Balwinder thinks that why did Lakshmi leave when he was trying to hold her? Rano scolds Bani and says, I have brought money for Neha's marriage. I have borrowed this money from someone. She says Lakshmi should agree for her marriage with Balwinder and make everyone's life better. But Bani says we cannot force Lakshmi to marry Balwinder for Neha's marriage. Rano calls Bani selfish and says you are staying in my house, and she asks her to be thankful to her. She says if Neha's alliance doesn't happen and if Neha's life gets ruined, then I will not leave three of you, and she asks her to make tea for her. Kiran meets Malishka and Sonal in the coffee shop. She tells them that Rishi did not agree to marry Malishka till now, and she says Rishi's self-respect is dead, but I still have my self-respect and I will not make Rishi as my son-in-law. Malishka says to Kiran that Rishi is mine and he will be mine always. She says Rishi loves me and he will shower love on me after marriage like he had done with Lakshmi, whom he never loved. Kiran says I am giving you ultimatum and says if Rishi refuses to marry you still, then I will not let you enter his house again after tomorrow, and this is my last decision, and Kiran leaves. Malishka gets upset, but Sona asks her to calm down and says we should wait for today. She says we should think of something and she asks her not to be hyper. Malishka says Rishi has to agree for this marriage, else I will die and I will kill him before that, and this is my last decision. Shalu comes home. Bani asks, where is my sister? Shalu says Aunt must know where Lakshmi is, but Bani says no and says Aunt also doesn't know where Lakshmi is. Shalu worries for Lakshmi. Lakshmi comes there sad and upset. Bani goes to get water. Shalu asks that what happened, sister? Bani brings water and gives it to Lakshmi. Shalu asks Lakshmi to drink the water. Balwinder comes there holding sweet box and he calls Rano, and Rano whispers to him not to tell anyone about their deal. Balwinder asks Rano to have sweet and says my alliance is fixed. Rano says yours and she scolds him. Balwinder says the girl has agreed to marry me. Rano thinks if this donkey monkey is trapped by some other girl and he will take back his money from me. She asks who is the girl? Balwinder says it's at Malika and says Lakshmi, and everyone is shocked. Bani asks if Balwinder has gone mad to say anything. Shalu says I will break your mouth. Rano asks Balwinder to leave. Balwinder says I will be marrying Lakshmi. Shalu raises her hand to slap Balwinder, but Balwinder holds her hand. Karishma tells Virendra and Neelam that they should get Rishi married to Malishka just like he was married to Lakshmi. Virendra says Rishi is an adult and we cannot force him to marry. Ayush says yes, but Karishma asks Ayush not to interfere. Balwinder says to Shalu and Bani that they will become his sister-in-law, and he asks them to ask Lakshmi if they don't believe him. He asks Lakshmi to talk, that she agreed to marry him, and says Lakshmi said yes standing in front of Rishi and in front of 200 people. Malishka and Sonal comes to the Obrey's house. Neelam asks them to sit and says they were talking about Rishi and Malishka's marriage. Malishka asks Neelam if Rishi agreed to marry her. Karishma says Rishi would agree because he has no valid reason to refuse. Sonal murmurs that first, Rishi was running behind Malishka and now he is running away. Ayush hears Sonal. Sonal asks if Ayush is keeping an eye on all the family members. Ayush says his eyes are just one and he is watching everyone carefully. Balwinder says to Rano, Shalu and Bani that Rishi and I were fighting and Lakshmi agreed to marry me, but Lakshmi shouted no and Balwinder is shocked. Neelam tells Malishka that she wants Rishi and Malishka to get married and she should stay happy after the marriage. Malishka says even I want the same and everything will be fine after my marriage. Rishi comes home and holds Malishka's hand. He asks Malishka to come with him if she trusts him. Rano thinks that what is the matter. Balwinder brought sweet, saying that Lakshmi agreed to marry him, but Lakshmi is saying that she did not agree. Shalu and Bani ask Balwinder to leave and says their sister can never marry a monster like him. Balwinder says to Rano and Lakshmi's sisters that I am not mad to bring 1,200 rupees sweet when I know that Lakshmi will not agree to marry me. Shalu and Bani ask Balwinder to leave. Balwinder asks if they are mad. Rano says you are mad and says Lakshmi can never lie. Balwinder asks Lakshmi to tell everyone if she did not save him from Rishi and told Rishi that she will marry him. Lakshmi says but she couldn't talk. Balwinder asks Lakshmi to talk and tell everyone if she said that she will marry Balwinder soon or not. Lakshmi recalls saying it and she gets teary eyes. Balwinder says I am getting mad. Shalu asks Balwinder to leave. Balwinder says I will not go until Lakshmi talk, and they ask Lakshmi again if she had agreed or not. Lakshmi says I had agreed and everyone is shocked. Bani asks if Lakshmi is in her senses and she asks her to ask Balwinder to leave. Shalu says Balwinder is a dirty man and girls don't look at him and you want to marry him. Bani says surely Balwinder has done some conspiracy. Shalu says we will call Uncle Virendra and brother-in-law, but Lakshmi stops them and says it was my decision to marry Balwinder. Rano asks Lakshmi to say the truth. Lakshmi nods her head that yes, and Rano asks that what if Lakshmi refuses later. Lakshmi says she will not refuse. Shalu says sister. Balwinder asks Bani and Shalu to have sweet, but they refuse and they go away from there. Rano smiles and asks Balwinder to give more money to her soon. Balwinder says to Rano that I will give you money and he asks her to keep his Lakshmi safe. Rano says keep my Lakshmi, that is money, safe also. She eats sweet and thinks that why did Lakshmi agree to marry Balwinder? She thinks that she shouldn't have to think too much and she just wants Balwinder to give her money. Malishka and Rishi are in the car. Malishka says I trust you a lot and she asks that where is Rishi taking her. She asks if Rishi wants to give her a surprise and a big happiness, but Rishi remains silent. Bani asks Shalu that what is our sister doing. Shalu says what happened to our sister. Bani says our sister said yes in front of brother-in-law that she would marry Balwinder and brother-in-law did not stop her. Shalu asks Bani not to worry and says God will make everything fine. She says we will do something. Bani says if Balwinder gets married to my sister, then what will happen to our sister? She says she is very scared. Shalu asks Bani and asks her not to be scared because everything will be fine. Lakshmi is sitting in her room and she recalls seeing a lady putting a rope on the fan in her house. Lakshmi knocks on the window and she tries to stop the lady. She pushes the door and she gets inside. She holds the lady's leg and saves her. The lady asks, why do you want to save me? Because you are the reason for my suicide attempt, and Lakshmi is shocked. Lakshmi asks the woman if she knows her. The lady says she is Kamli, Balwinder's girlfriend, and she is pregnant with Balwinder's child, and she tells Lakshmi that she heard Lakshmi agreeing to marry Balwinder, and that is why she is trying to commit suicide because she is pregnant with Balwinder's baby. Kamli tells Lakshmi that yesterday, Balwinder told her that he would marry Lakshmi only, and he asked me to kill the baby and myself too. She tells Lakshmi that her world came to an end after that and now she wants to die. Lakshmi says to Kamli that you should not do this. Kamli says she break her relationship with her brother for Balwinder and she cannot go back to her house again and she cried. Lakshmi asks Kamli to trust God and says I am with you and I will help you. She says maybe God sent me to help you. Kamli says Balwinder should not know about me, else he will kill me. She says Balwinder had become devil when I had taken your name in front of him. She shows her the injury on her back. Lakshmi says she will not tell Balwinder. Kamli thanks Lakshmi and the flashback ends. Lakshmi thinks that she agreed to marry Balwinder so that her sisters can get married and so that Rishi can get married to Malishka, and she always thinks that her decision will benefit everyone, but she did not know that her decision was taking someone's life. She feels pity on Kamli and says she has handed over everything to Balwinder, and if Kamli doesn't get married to Balwinder, then Kamli will kill herself and her baby. Lakshmi says to herself that if I don't marry Balwinder, then Neha's marriage will not happen, and she worries for Malishka and Rishi as well. She says I cannot let Kamli die for my sisters Rishi and Malishka, and she thinks of what to do to save everyone. She says Kamli said that if her name comes in front of anyone, then Balwinder will kill her. She thinks that I have to do something secretly and says I will get Balwinder and Kamli married. Rano tells Balwinder that they will get his marriage with Lakshmi done in 2 days. Then Balwinder should take Lakshmi away so that Rishi and Shalu and Bani cannot reach her. Balwinder says he did not know that she would agree for less money, and he asks her to get him married tomorrow or in the next 2 days, and he leaves. Rano thinks that he will get big money from someone, even though she did not take big money from Balwinder, and she thinks that Lakshmi has turned out to be a blessing for her. Shalu and Bani comes to Lakshmi. Rano thinks that they might change Lakshmi's decision, and she thinks to undo them. Alright guys, thank you so much guys for watching. Please don't forget to check the comment section for the link to the next episode once it is available. And don't forget to give this video a like and share it as well. And I'll see you all again in my next video. Bye guys.